happened last time on D&D?
We fought the bugs.
We fought the Beetleborgs. I set my fucking Hearthstone to
Orgs.
the temple.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I think John did something similar, right? Didn't he set?
No, he tried. His spell doesn't work the same though.
Oh, gotcha.
I gotta spend
Because
a
he
third of
casts
the
it
year
every
doing it.
day for, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. That's
Oh
stupid.
yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense because of the way that the teleportation circle works.
Yeah,
Like,
the reason why I was saying is because it was going back to my home city. That's why.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
brought it
Can
up.
he just spend 8 hours one day?
I don't know.
It's-
It's like baking cookies at half double the temperature.
yeah,
Time.
yeah.
But it kind of
My character can do that.
he could bake cookies at 600 degrees for 5 minutes.
yeah.
I can. I got dragon
Fucking-
flames for that bitch.
He can burn cookies at 600
Oh, yeah.
degrees for 5 minutes.
Oh, it's kind of like those the flash cooked pizzas or whatever that you can get. Like, you just have to make them thinner. Like,
Yeah.
it'll work. They'll still taste amazing. You just have to.
All right.
There's
If
a delicate balance.
if memory serves, I am riding one of the beetles,
Yes, you have a big
and I
red
think somebody else has a beetle.
rhinoceros beetle.
I think Patrick
Ah.
has one.
I don't remember
Maybe.
that. I only have one on my sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. I only
I am not
remember
riding
you
one after the beetle.
mounting a fucking beetle.
All right. Can we all pile on the beetle and go over there?
Definitely not.
Just
We
inch
could-
the ship closer.
Yeah. I'm gonna like go and pull the ship up for
Bring
for
autopilot
boarding.
up and tell it that you want to board the adjacent structure.
Nah, come on, guys.
Careful.
Everybody get on the beetle.
SpongeBob. Careful.
Hey, this is
Can,
practice,
can the
motherfuckers.
beetle
Don't take it
hold
from me.
2 people?
2 might be pushing it.
Then no, we're not gonna chance it.
Y'all are heavy.
I thought
If you go over
James could
naked, maybe.
fly. Can't James just carry somebody over and then somebody else can ride the beetle?
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally going to
Big
the helm
jumper
of the
lie.
ship and fucking turning this motherfucker around to where we can pull up next to it and fucking have people jump off onto it.
We'll just have Zataran watch the ship for us.
Right.
Yeah. Just throw a fireball in the air if you see anything sketchy.
Yes,
Well,
the
come on.
strange insectoid riders, who, though not real fighters in their own regard, tried well enough to take on a more powerful foe using dirty tactics and trying to push you off the sides of the ship and
Oh, yeah.
swarm you with their speed. But
Yeah,
once
they-
you got into true combat with them, they were easily dispatched. The derelict
They had a good gimmick.
The derelict airship is battle worn. You can see how the crew valiantly put up an effort to repel the invaders. Green and red blood litters the ground. You can see the doorway leading down into the ship is broken off, one of the large beetles likely smashing it in so the invaders can grab the rest of the crew.
All of the crew is like very obviously dead.
Dead and partially eaten, yes.
Okay.
All right, hang
And
on.
I will,
before, hang
head-
on. I'm gonna make this a little bit easier for
I think
everyone.
John wants to stay on.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds on all of us.
Oh, it might die.
Just because I know some of us took some hits, so.
Yeah.
What's the heal for?
26.
Wounds.
26.
Believe. That's full health. Yay!
Boom. Not quite full, but pretty goddamn close. Alright, yeah. So I'll take point and come up to where that broken off door is and kind of like listen down there, see if there's anything sounds like it's happening down there.
Give me a perception check.
My God.
My god, it's an 11.
You don't hear
It's
anything.
definitely a door, and there's definitely a boat under you.
Do I
That's
hear
right.
anything with my passive perception?
You don't hear anything.
Nothing with my
Sounds
18?
clear.
Nothing but the wind.
Oh my god, we go down the door. We go down the stairs. The door leads to.
Yeah.
Inside the ship, you see mostly the same as you would expect from your ship. It's kind of like you'd have to get real out of the box to not just have it kind of mirror a galleon. That's the most efficient and best way to save space. You see the ship hold where the crew were. You see it kind of in tatters. You can see little points of evidence of what happened to them here and there. Some other canopy beds are kind of ripped asunder as they likely held on tight, trying to fight against some of the insectoids, dragging them up on top of the deck to eat. You can see a little bit of battle that kind of ran down here, but by the time the bugs had broke in, it was too late.
Now, you say battle ran down here. Is that like damage or someone shitting themselves?
Like blood from a wound.
Someone shitting blood.
Probably shitting. Yeah, probably a little shit too.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Is
Can't
it
blame 'em.
well lit down here? Like they have candles and whatnot.
Yes,
below?
and some little slits and openings and windows. Very small, but enough to let the light in.
All right. Yeah. I guess I'll kind of start moving
Fucking
around
follow
down
your
here.
nose wherever it
Looking.
goes.
Yeah. Yeah. And a reminder that I have the blind sight of 10 feet. So if anything is like hiding in a inconspicuous place, that might help me out a little bit.
I'm gonna cast dancing lights and put it like a halo over Pitch's head.
Beautiful.
Feels right.
Feels too
Uh,
right.
Are there
Give me a
any
perception check, would you? Garuk.
are there any other doors like down here?
Yeah, there's small like privacy doors on like what you assume to be the first mate's cabin, but it's a small. It's more of like a cloth partition, and
Okay.
then the captain's area will be farther on into the ship.
I got a 21 on that perception check.
You do smell the nutty burn of pepper and the fragrant, almost fruitiness of what smells like kind of like saffron and spice.
We in the kitchen.
Hmm.
Are they cooking them?
No, nothing so fancy.
We might be Beetleborgs, but we're not fucking animals.
What? So does it smell like someone was cooking, or does it smell more like those spices are just exposed to the air?
Just an open
Just
pantry.
exposed.
All right.
Press F to continue.
Yeah. I guess I'll continue. Want to prep my weapon just in case. And I have
Saffron
no
really
idea.
puts me on edge.
I have no idea what the fuck that could even be. Like, why would like do I see like actual cargo boxes down here, or is this more like living quarters?
As you continue down into the ship, you do indeed see 4 large boxes of trade goods.
Okay, that's fine.
You can assume that spices are among the large square box's contents.
Okay.
All of you, give me perception checks as well.
Do you want me to
Front of it.
redo mine, or just
Yeah, it's
keep?
different.
Okay.
I'm not in roll 20, but that's okay.
15.
I'm doing this on a phone, so
I
I got a
also
6.
17.
23. 23.
Deathis,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
23.
Yes,
Yeah, we got it.
You were the winner.
Oh,
As you are scrounging around, you find the cache of their weapons. Though the cannons might be a bit heavy and smaller than the ones you have, you do find 15 cannonballs and 3 rounds of forged grape shot.
oh, okay.
Grape shot has an advantage to hit crew, whereas regular shot has a disadvantage to hit crew.
Oh, so
Oh,
grape shot, or are we just gonna rename them rape shot because that's what's gonna happen when they get hit?
Stars above us.
Hell yeah. Are you writing that down, Pat?
Nope, I don't have anywhere to write it down.
All right.
No.
15 cannonballs and 4 rape shots.
Do you want a writer's
Three.
sheet? You ain't
Three
got
right
shit
shot.
to write down?
Three.
Okay.
Well, all I have
Three.
is my
I'm fucking
my
with you.
phone right now. All of my stuff is at home. All the stuff that I have for note taking here is like just got shit scribbled all up.
The camera pans over to Patrick, and he's got sticky notes all over him. A tear rolls down his eye.
It's pretty accurate.
All right.
This is a much more traditional airship. No such golem heart to propel it. It relies on the wind and elbow grease. Far from finding those bits of treasure, you only find a sad tale and death.
What about the captain's quarters? Anything in there that we could maybe figure out who the ship belonged to, where it came from?
Give me an investigation.
12, because it fucking bounced back to an 8. So 12.
It's a bit low. The captain kept a very Spartan quarters. He was not a man for anything, really.
Fancy cooking.
Like, they must have destroyed all the logs of where the shipment was going and such.
Yeah, I suppose that the best idea is to just taxi this where we're already heading, and possibly someone else can figure it out.
I don't know. What if these things had like laid eggs and stuff? I was
Well,
kind of feeling like we'd burn this motherfucker to the ground.
absolutely not. You know how much gold this thing is worth?
It's
So-
ridiculous, James. Write that down. Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah.
So, Garuk, what you're telling me is that you want to take all the metal that's valuable out of this ship and sell it.
No, he wants to sell the ship, man.
Catalytic converter.
I mean, I
Strip it
am
of copper.
learning to pilot one of these, so I could stay on this ship and pilot it following the ship that can pilot itself. But we
So-
should, like, to
That-
Pitch's point, like, we should scour the ship for any range bug eggs or anything of that.
Yeah, I don't need the repeat of the scourge of Lordaeron happening again, where all the fucking grain is tainted and you got to kill the citizens.
Damn, that was like 30 years ago, bro.
Garrett, you don't know.
I played Warcraft 3.
You don't even know what that is.
Major problem jumps out to me. As a one-man crew, it is going to be nearly impossible to drive this thing.
Well, it sounds like we need to find a way to fashion it to be towed.
Wait, I don't really understand why are we gonna keep it?
No, he wants to sell it so he can kind of have that money whenever we hit town.
Well, there's that and the possibility of us returning it to its actual owner. It's liable to get us in good graces with whoever it belonged to.
Yeah,
Well,
but
there's almost no way to find that if we don't know who the owner is, and we're not going to find that log, apparently.
exactly.
Well, I would assume that a ship like this is probably well known in ports. These are very rare ships. Like, it can't be that difficult to figure out who the fuck it belongs to.
Garrett, any chance we've heard of these people? We kind of been all over.
Is there any way that we could scour the ship to see if we have any kind of identification of the ship?
Yes, check their banners. They should have banners. Right? Am I thinking stupid?
Yeah, they have a banner, and you already looked for logs that didn't appear to be found. Maybe it was on a person and then was such eaten by the ravenous bugs or something like that. Yeah, the banner is let me think. What would the banner be? The banner was a blue compass with a big A on the front.
Okay. Sounds like that could be a name, I guess.
And do we recognize that at all?
Don't. No, you wouldn't. And there's a reason why, but you don't know it, Karuk.
Blue compass with a on the front? Okay.
Stylized, written in common,
Yeah.
very design oriented. Would go in a shirt.
All right.
Can we perhaps do any investigation on where we think this thing left port or was going?
If you can make a compelling argument for how you're going to do that.
I don't know. Based on what it was bringing, is it only spices?
Yes, it seems like a big.
Do the
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I know exactly the kitchen that's getting this pepper.
Yeah.
Does the cargo itself have any markings on them, maybe denoting who they originally belonged to?
No, they seem to be just shoveled into big containers. Pretty nondescript.
Have we checked all the rooms down here?
Yes. In the interest of time, yes.
Are all of these containers sealed, except for the one that smells of spice?
Sealed is a strong term. They did the best they could.
Or are they closed up to where I can't see the
Yes.
content?
Yes.
I would like to open every one of them.
So, 4 large boxes, each one being about 50 pounds. There's one of salt, one of spices, one of dried leaf, and one of a pepper and saffron mix. Likely to be sifted elsewhere, but saffron's expensive, hard to find.
Anything to be found on the bodies for interest of time?
Not really. They were kind of desecrated and eaten by the time you guys got there.
Boys, we got no clues. We don't know where the fuck this thing went. We don't know where it's going. We don't know where it came from. I say we abandon it.
Where exactly are we at currently?
You're getting very close to the edge of the stolen lands. The edge of the stolen lands is the Riverlands. Last time you left it, the River Kingdom.
The River Kingdom. Wait, is that the same place that Inbright Sun was from?
Yes, it is.
We should fly it to where Inbright Sun, where we left Inbright Sun, and see if we can ask him if he has seen it. If he knows
Can 3 of us pilot the ship while one of us pilots the other one?
Yeah, it'll be awkward, slow going. You'll probably have this kind of roundabout way where you'll, the wind will change and you'll suddenly lose, 30 minutes of travel time as you go as fast and safe as you can into changing the mass and all that. But you can get it done with time.
I guess we do that.
Do you want to stop by the River Kingdoms?
Sure.
Yes.
If we know where Bright Sun lives.
Well, the River Kingdom.
I'm gonna take the pot out of my backpack and I'm just gonna scoop a bunch of those spices up into it.
Why do you have a pot in your backpack?
Like a skillet, a pot and iron. Take a pot.
He's fucking Samwise. What's it to you?
Look, man, I got some stuff that can make you fucking see nothing.
We were talking about how many feats a fighter has, and you missed it, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I was like, no.
How could you not say something while I wasn't there, James?
It's a lot of feats.
That's
A lot of feats.
You will go to the River Kingdom, though in your long absence, much has changed. From your bird's eye view, you can get a lay of the land. Without the leadership of the River Kingdom Senate, the country has been absorbed into Brevoy, with a lot less war than many expected. The double-axe banner of Rovo Kez flies everywhere, and much of the city has been given a wilder, more dangerous coat of paint, so to speak. You can see some of the changes in the River Kingdom. Some of the wild tendencies of the barbarian nation have taken over, with their nightly bonfires and haphazard construction tendencies. The gilded narrowboats, playing music and taking tourists down the canals and twisting rivers, are now home to odd, barely holding together houseboats and unlicensed bridges, connecting families and gangs of warriors and other such wildling affairs. The flood of refugees from the south has been stomped out with an iron fist, the barbarians of Robocez sending them elsewhere under threat of brutal axe death. Overall, things are a little better in New Brevoy, though perhaps only for in the short term.
Mm. A big bead of sweat goes down my head.
So, you're going to find a place to land and enter New Brevoy?
Yes, are these people even remotely familiar with what these machines could be?
Yes, the River Kingdom is was a pretty rich sort of debonair land. Most of the barbarians look on in shock as you slowly bring down your great airship. Um, they're kind of all coming out to see the show. Um, but yeah, definitely a mixed bag of awe.
We start kind of asking around, if anyone knows who these banners belong to.
Well, wait. Why don't we first ask for Inbright Sun? That way we know. We can try to find our boy and see if he can help us
I
out.
think you mean Captain Imbright Sun.
Give me a
Since
persuasion.
if this doesn't, we can't locate where this is going to. I'm giving it to the
Look,
cat
man,
man.
I look at Inbright Sun as if he is Elvis. So as far as I'm concerned, he is my boy. 18.
You have a bit of a heads up as you kind of left him to his own devices. You kind of return to the same canal that he was resuming his normal life upon. You see a couple of tabaxi have taken residence here, if you can call it that. They have this big carpet laid out, and they have these like big fluffy pillows. They're all sitting around and they're drinking this very leafy green tea. And they're just chatting amongst themselves.
Garrett, I'm gonna ask this every time. Do they have wares?
Yes, and skooma.
Ooh.
Good gosh. Where's my skooma?
Continue.
Patches, do you want to say anything to them?
Good with those patches.
Patch?
Awestruck.
He did. We greet the cats warmly.
They do the same. Tabaxi are known to be quite courteous people, always interested in the lives of others and their stories. As you greet them, they are more than happy to say hello. And was that you in the great airship?
Yes, we were looking for a friend of ours, actually, in reference to those great airships. I'm sorry, did you say we saw him, Bright Sun, right there?
No, he's not here.
Okay. I tell him his name is Imbright Sun, and we've been separated from him for quite some time.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
I had to go put my fucking headset and get it and plug it into my phone for some reason. That's right, I brought my headset.
Nice.
I was gonna say, ask them if they had seen our friend in Bright Sun,
I already did.
or
One
if
of
they
the
knew
large
who he
cats
was.
does know of Inbright Sun. He says, yes, I remember Inbright Sun, a very kind fellow, though he was a little off as of late. As the war between Brevoy and the River Kingdom started heating up, many thought war was inevitable. He decided he wanted no part of that, and he went back home.
Mm.
Do you happen to know where home is?
Of course. What did I name their homeland?
So he's in Catland. He's in the litter box.
He's Tabaxi.
He's back in the litter box.
Let
That's the bar that he frequents.
me see what I named this motherfucker.
He's in the strip club called the Nip Slip.
God damn it. No.
At least John appreciates me.
That one, but I was sitting there typing it out, and I was like, Embright's son. I'm gonna fucking shorten that up. IBS. It's like we're literally trying to find someone who has
Oh.
irritable bowel syndrome.
Oh.
Like, God damn it.
The Tabaxi homeland of Mastika.
Mastika. It's very fitting. Well, in that case, we'll kind of put a marker on our map for now. We'll know where he's at. And ask him about these banners and say, are any of you sailors? You know these banners?
Are you asking about the Rovokez's banners or the ship
The ones
banner?
on the airship.
The shit banner.
They were just flying one. You could either take it down or take scroll a picture of it. Let's see. I will let the gods decide if they know anything about this. Let me roll dice. They do not. They do not. No, I haven't seen that code before.
I spread my wings, go fly up and grab the banner, and I walk around town screaming, "Does anyone know who this belongs to?"
God.
You want to spend your time doing that, you'll eventually find someone.
Yeah, so.
I don't. I wanted to burn it down, but here we are.
Well, with that, I guess I'm gonna go see if I can find Robocast, because it wouldn't be really too wise if we didn't stop by and at least say hi to him, seeing as we left on a really great term last time that we were in his presence, and they were ecstatic about our efforts.
Yeah, I don't think we ever met back up with Rovikez after the happening.
No, we didn't. The last thing we had was a huge shindig.
Yes.
And then we left. So, least we can do is let it be known that we've entered into his graces.
Are you going to join in that, James, or do you want to separate and go shouting?
I'll join in that.
So, you all return to the scene of the crime. The Senate building is luxurious, covered in the green stained glass that seems to be a marking of the River Kingdoms and their design philosophy. Now it's covered in banners and lean-to shelter for a whole camaraderie of barbarians and wildlings. You see that a lot of the... We cannot hear you, Patches. You see a lot of the glass has been broken out, doors opened. There's big fire pits in the center. There's tons of people all walking around. There's a very loose sort of guard structure. And indeed, you can see towards the center of the great garden where all the previous Senate members were murdered brutally. You see Rovokez in his traditional, not very ostentatious way, just talking with his men. Kind of meandering. If you didn't know who he was, you would have no idea.
He's meandering, or if we were meandering, we wouldn't know.
He's meandering. He's just speaking with his men. No great throne or caravan carrying him. He's just walking around talking. The man of the people.
Is his title king?
Yes. Now over much more land.
How do you greet a king properly?
Like this. As we see him, I raise a hand and shout out, my king, my king. Why? Your grace knows no bounds. You have extended your reign as you said you would have.
There is a tiny moment where everyone looks at you sideways, expecting some drama or trouble, shouting out the king's name like this, strangers though you are. But the king recognizes you immediately. Rovokez, in his new place of power, greets you with a wide grin and open arms, giving each of you a great, powerful bear hug. Even the strangers knew to him.
Wonderful.
Farouk
Wonderful.
and the fish.
Oh.
Before we continue, Should we have left Zataran on the ship with a bunch of cats?
You'd be alright.
Step back to you like, there's a big fish.
He's got water spells. He's fine. He's fine.
Robocaz, looking about 10 years younger than you last saw him, greets you with a wide smile, and you see he's adorned with some of this green glass, some treasures of trade. You even see this big circlet that he's wearing as a sort of hang-down necklace incorrectly. You recognize it as being part of one of the senator's beautiful garbs before all the axes and swords hit him in the head. You know, you remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. Do you, James? Do you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's ecstatic to see you. He says, "Ah, my friends, of course you will return on this auspicious day. I could not ask the gods for any more, for they have given me all I need. It is wonderful to see you. As you can see, we have done great works together." And he kind of holds his hands out. And everyone cheers, not knowing exactly what he's talking about, but seeing the excitement on their king's face.
They're
Mm.
not the only confused people.
Are there other like a ton of other people close to where
Yeah,
like I
it's
probably
pretty
wouldn't want to
populated.
talk about the parasitic insect things?
How about
Uh,
my king? If you have a moment, or can we have a moment of your time to discuss some things that are more perilous and private, to kind of fill you in on what else is going on other than in your blissful land?
Of course, of course. Follow me. He, with a hand gesture, clears out a big group of people, and as they're getting out of your way, he says, "Food, drink, immediately, whatever they need." A couple of people run off, and they give you a wide berth leading up to a very beautiful pink flowering tree that's in the center of these four, like man-made, these like tiny little rivers, these little streams with the little walking bridges. Very beautiful. Um, horrible murder was committed here long ago, you guys have this beautiful little patch to speak to each other about.
He's
And he
not
says,
gonna
"Yes,
let you live that down, James.
yes, my friends.
Oh
What
my
what could
God.
possibly trouble some warriors such as you?"
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
We'll kind of tell them about the beetles. Well, the beetles and the ticks, the tick men.
Garrett, can you one day actually tell us what you had planned for all the things that James ruined?
Jesus Christ!
No, no. It was just, you got to choose a path in the story, man.
Deathbed.
You guys could have made the river kingdoms really powerful, and you would have had this kind of rich yet,
Look,
Haven't you
bogged
already
down with.
run this
we're all
campaign
at
before?
least
I
chaotic
haven't got this
neutral,
far.
so doing chaotic shit aligns with that.
Oh.
So you're telling me you wrote a bunch of shit for those characters and I just killed them,
Yes.
and you've never gotten to have them fleshed out?
Not even once.
My God!
But
This is what I'm talking about. This is why it's such a big deal. I killed the
I,
whole council of this city.
This is why you don't kill
Fuck.
everybody at the
well,
same
there's pros and cons, because Robocaz is a good king on his own right, and you've got him in your back pocket. You guys did a lot of work for him. But the
Yeah.
River Kingdom, would have been bogged down with this corruption, this is like hundreds
Yeah,
of years
if you
old
recall, there was
system,
someone
and
actually like slave trading on the road, like just picking up random civilians and forcing them into indentured servitude.
they might have done the refugee crisis a little better than Robocaz is, but also the city would have suffered for it. There's a whole lot of, it's a living world. Made your choices now, unless you kill Robocaz right here.
Did the everybody gold?
You just hit the
Shut her
hard
down.
situation.
Hey, what does Robocaz look like again?
Big, bald. He's got this huge, long beard that's braided into two long, independent, like big coiled braids. He's huge, jacked, of course. He has this signature double axes on his back. He is a very, boisterous, affable man when he's not stressed about war and stuff. But when things are going great, he's the best friend you could have.
So I would say
I would have
we,
picked him anyway.
we like the food and drink show up before we start telling him about, at least tell him about the airship shit. But as far as like the white elves, elven knights and everything, we wait until the food and such shows up so that way it doesn't ruin his appetite. 'Cause
See,
anyone would get pissed and not want to eat, and he looks like he enjoys eating. So
He will trade stories with you. He says, "Welcome to New Brevoy. The the ancient kingdom of Brevoy was given to me by birthright, and I will make it rise again. This is the first step." He goes on and on and on. He You tell him about the airship, which is concerning to him. Maybe the River Kingdom Council would know more about airships, but the barbarian king does not. Um,
Salt to
but
the
he
wound.
but he says, "I will find out for you. This you can trust me with." Food and drink is readily available. Much the same. This is your third or fourth party with RoboCast. Your influence with him is already like 90%. You've unlocked the next like conversation options dialogue.
Our
Uh,
rapport is huge.
the romance option is available.
Good
Ah.
God.
Look, man, if it's gonna get us some shit, I'm here for experience. I gotta write stories somehow, right?
Look,
That's what I do.
Rebekez,
I tell
I gotta
people.
be straight with you.
I'm straight.
I'm in town. Your dick's in town. What's up, baby?
Um, the party goes much the same as you would expect, though the sort of uh, gap between the partying wild barbarians and the beautiful Riverland affluent kingdom behind it is sort of a funny lark. You have this like elven influenced architecture, these like beautiful stained glass in these buildings that are one with nature and all that. And you have these barbarians in the center of it having this big bonfire, but you see, a few humans and elves that are clearly not barbarians in the group. It was a peaceful takeover. So
Well, after the not so peaceful parts
yeah,
happen.
yeah, yeah. More peaceful than people expected.
So we fill him in on all of the and what's going on, as well as the linked to essentially demonic planes of existence and what's going to happen and what all we've done since we've
Now for all the
left
doom
the last
speech.
time. Yeah, and basically once we're all done with that, I would implore that the king take greater precaution and a heightened defense, because these this army is not something to take lightly. We did have uh, Gavin. He took it lightly because he was big-headed and realized that he lost at least 80% of his fleet and only did damage to one ship, and it wasn't even damaged. And then because he didn't heed our warning, so
Talking
we
about
implored.
Rhaegar?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we
Is
strongly
that his
suggest
first
that you
name?
do.
Yes, Rhaegar von Garnor. Bit of a mouthful.
Where the hell did I get Gavin from?
Gavin is the current
That's
king,
that's
That's
the
right. That's
who's
right.
on another
masked king.
plane of reality or time or God knows what.
You said
The
Garnor?
man, yes,
Yeah, Von Gorn or
the man who cannot keep his hands off cursed magic instruments and is a very high level wizard, so he interacts with them a lot.
Ah.
shiny mask go click clack.
Robokez drops his jovial, friendly demeanor a bit, getting more serious with your tale. He says, "Yes, my scouts have told tales of the war happening to the south. We had wondered why so many refugees were flooding into the River Kingdom for the last few months now. And indeed, our takeover was made easy by the social upheaval that was causing this. I believe your tale fits all the missing pieces of the puzzle perfectly. Uh, though we thought it was a war between elven clans, something we could easily ignore, you say that it will be at our doorstep?"
It
It
is.
most certainly will.
It is highly probable. Yes. We know that uh, New Brevoy is just a sidestep in our travel because we have fairly good knowledge that one of these chains is over in the Stolen Lands, where at's not exactly sure. But we aim to find it and try to stop them before they can break another one, because if all 6 are broken, there's no telling what type of hellscape will be leashed upon us.
We didn't have any inclination that there might be one in this general area, correct?
No, you're pretty familiar with this area, and none of the looking glasses looked anything like this, unfortunately. The
Okay.
beautiful river-scarred lands of the River Kingdom, or should I say New Brevoy.
But
Mm.
Um,
be on high alert. If they come this way, they will not stop. They will not hold back. Once we left your graces, we went back to Heartspring to find that Godspear itself was destroyed. The whole town, city, down. And we
I'm
found out
sorry
that
to
they
hear
were.
that. I know of Heartspring. There was a lot of good adventuring in the past few years there.
Well, we found out one of the chains was there, and that was their goal, and we didn't get there in time to stop them from shattering it.
Strengths.
I had assumed that once the elves got done purging their rival clans or whatever they were warring about, they would happily go back to their homes. But if you say that is not true, then it is not. I will batten down my hatches and prepare for the war to come.
There is one you do really need to be concerned with, and our expert wizard is not with us right now as he's back on our ship. Um, they do have barrels full of this alchemical fire that, once it comes in contact with the air around it, it explodes and burns very hot, extremely hot, and it's very dangerous. So,
Well, we've never been one to rely on walls. He kind of grabs 2 of his big fighters and says, "Are we, boys?" As you all are conversing, a man approaches, a tall, slender elf, clearly not part of the retinue. He seems more of the learned type, with thick glasses and a very soft disposition. He walks up. Excuse me, sire. I have news for your guests. Robocaz does his hand, allows. Um, he says, "Guest, I have found out the origin of that airship you found. There was an adventuring guild here before the refugee crisis. I believe that describes the A. And I have found where they went off to.
well,
They have gone to the northeast. Northwest, sorry. Northwest. Um, they've gone to the northwest to a land called something. Once I get to it in my notes. It has a peculiar name. This one you don't have like all your notes on one page. You like ration it out, right? They've gone far to the northwest to a land called the Protectorate of the Black Marquis. A peculiar name for a peculiar place. A rough and tumble pirate-ruled land where there's still much adventuring to be found. The man continues. He says, "An airship will be very useful to us. More so than some realize." He kind of glances around at his barbarian entourage. Um, "We are willing to pay you for its usage."
Mm.
so before we go any further, uh, if everyone's fine with it, I think we should actually try to convince Robocast to utilize that ship, as well as for if they come in contact with any of those elves, and basically use it like a lookout to help
That's
figure
fine
out.
with me. I don't give a shit about giving it to its owner.
Yeah, then we gotta go deal
I'm
with
more
her.
about this gold.
Yeah, seriously, like, if they were actually still in town, then I would be more
Inclined.
inclined to try to return it to them, but they've
Yeah.
already moved on. So I see no reason not to offer it to your friend.
It does seem like whoever used to own it didn't quite have the type of outfit that would be good for defending it if we did get it back to them anyway.
Yes,
The Adventurers Guild was a group of very rich noblemen, sort of bored with their lives,
Oh,
looking
so
for
they were frat
safe and
boys.
yeah, looking for maybe safer adventure to be found. That's just a personal opinion, but they would sail their ship across the sea, see anything that caught their eye, or to exploit it in the however way they saw fit.
It's like when they get you in a four-wheeler and drive you right to where the deer are. It's that type of.
When the Great War started, people had a lot less time for such things. They could not draw up any funding or interest in their endeavors.
Well, we have no qualms handing it over to you in payments. However, my liege, I would highly suggest utilizing this ship for both means of transportation, emergency, as well as warfare. Get familiar with it. Find anyone who is an adept at handling any type of uh, traveling means. Have them learn it. I would also, with light of the information I was telling you about the Elven army, or the White Knight army that just happen to be elves. As far as we know of, they happen to be elves. We haven't seen if there's any other races within their ranks. I would recommend any of the remaining people, when you've taken over from the current inhabitants of this land, utilizing their skills, both anyone for ranged or magic use, and offering them the continued sanctuary that you're going to provide them for staying here. But at least make it worthwhile. Utilize them, because if you can target those barrels full of the alchemical fire and blow it up before they can launch it, it will cause a chain reaction and deal devastating damage to that army.
He says, "On the airship, I assure you, anything, anything in my grasp is used for war. And on the barrels of their magic fire, are you taking note of that?" He says to the bookkeeping sort of elf-looking man. He says, "Yes, yes. Target their magic fire. I'll have to do more research on that."
It is highly volatile and it blow up.
yes, they seem to be able to mass produce this alchemist fire, I believe it's called.
And with ease, it seems. They had large quantities of it.
Yeah, if I were you guys, I would learn how to make use of their armor once you kill any of their troops, if you can.
Well, to be honest, I was a little disappointed with how the Riverlands went down. Seems like I've got a real fight on my hands.
And now you got plenty of soldiers ready for the taking, coming through your gate as refugees.
Are you suggesting that as policy, James?
Nah.
Okay, just talking. He sort of waves you off and says, "Yeah, I trust my own men more, but uh, well, we never rest on our laurels. Uh, war is always on the horizon for us."
So it seems, but if you have any way to bolster your ranks, seriously, do not take this army lightly, or you will lose a lot more than what you think you will.
Hmm. Normally, I would scoff at such ridiculous suggestions that my army is not the most powerful, but you've done such good work for our romance together. We will take it to heart.
Yes, I believe that they are using some sort of demonic forces to bolster their strength. Be wary.
Just to stress this, you've seen what our little group has done. 3 or 4 of them gave us an extreme challenge.
There's a lot more than 3 or 4 of them basically just as able as we are.
That is concerning.
That's why we implore you, do not take this lightly.
Well, bad tidings given. You have fostered such a great relationship that all your words are taken to heart. He will do as best as his character's ability to prepare. Um, these this action will have consequences. Pops up in the top right.
Now, about
Apart from
that,
that, was there any other Robocaz business? I think you've hit the end of his dialogue.
Yeah, how much gold he gonna be giving us for this ship?
The elven bookkeeper man says, though the real price of an airship is something that the newly inherited kingdom cannot truly pay, much of the stockpile of gold and treasury was taken in haste as it was seen that the new ownership would come into place. And the barbarians, the king and his men, do not value gold very much. That being said, for use of your airship with no promise that we can return it intact, we are willing to give you 700 gold. A small sum of its total value, but just the best we can do.
700, you say?
700 smackaroos.
How do you feel about that, boys? Does that sound decent for a ship that's stockpiled with a bunch of expensive spices?
I mean, at the end of the day, this is your friend, so
Yeah, that's fine.
do
Was
what's
that
right.
divvy up to be each? We are including the fish in that
140 divided by 5?
Yeah.
140.
Well, then, if everyone else is in agreement, then we're all in agreement.
He gives you your gold. Says, of course, Robocast would never tarnish the relationship you fostered together by implying that this is his airship personally now. If you have need of it, please speak to us, and we'll make do.
Yeah, if I happen to burn ours to the ground, we will.
Yeah, maybe so. Or if you have a wild hair and go find the real, people, and they offer you more, or any other number of things. It would be an offense to try to buy an airship for 700 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. One more thing before we finish our discussion. My king, what is your favorite color?
He's taken aback by this question. I don't think he's ever been asked that or given much thought to it. Says, red.
Red. All right. Well, I don't have a red one, but I do have something similar. Pull out an orange rock,
Hmm?
and I hand it to him.
Remind me what this rock is.
What is your rock?
King Robocaz, if you would like to take this offering, I guarantee you it will be worth it. This orange seemingly looking rock is not just an orange rock. It is a geode filled with liquor from a small
Oh
mining
yeah.
town north of Brevoy.
I'm sure he'll probably like
Now,
that type of thing.
now it does have an effect, though I can't quite say, but I can give you the contact location of where this is so you can order more.
His eyes light up. I appreciate this great gift. Truly, our friendship has been the most bountiful thing in many, many years. He takes out an axe I just break it and drink it?
Yes, don't. You kind of just crack it a bit. If you can, kind of uh, puncture a hole in it, something, chip away at it. You don't want to crack the whole thing open because then you're going to lose everything what's inside and be all for naught.
He like raises the butt of his axe. There's this massive, muscled, gnarled hand, and he kind of stops himself and he just tap, and it makes this loud crack, and a little bit spills out, but he writes it in his hand. And looks at you, and he looks back at it, and he takes a huge drink. Roll me a D100, would you?
Ooh. That is
Turns him into a
88.
frog.
Oh, interesting. He takes a big drink, and he stands up, and he's kind of like shocked for a moment, and he holds his chest. He says, "Oh, bit of a kick on that one." Um, he takes a gasp, and he's like, "Oh, that was really something." You see, from the sides of his head, goat horns start to protrude out in this coiled ram's head. These horns protruding from his head, and you see all the men stop talking, stop their revelry, and look, looking at them. And he looks at everyone looking at him. And he feels his head, and he feels these huge horns on his head. Oh, oh, a blessing from the gods! And he takes his head and he slams it into someone next to him. The guy goes flying on the ground. He
Holy
says,
shit.
"Yes, yes." He loves them.
My God, are those permanent?
As far as I can tell, yes.
My God.
He's like, "Headbutt me!" And
Fucking hell.
a couple of people are like, "Oh, all right." He says, "Headbutt me!" And they slam their heads into each other. And he's like, "Yes!" The party has now gotten off the rails. I don't think you're going to be able to conduct any more business.
Oh God.
No,
It's okay.
all our business was
Most
taken
business
care
is
of.
done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
How party hard are you guys going to get,
Um,
if any? It's up to you.
I'll roll a D100 to see.
Yeah. D100, you're going to do a D20, James. Determining it.
It's a D100. I rolled a 91. So
What does that imply?
do you think?
Shit.
Do you think it's like a
James,
the
most likely
more
it'll be
the higher the
both,
number,
man.
the higher the
The amount of,
partying?
the amount of beer. Yeah, I don't know, that's up to you, man.
Okay, well, I guess James and I are getting
We're
whatever
getting
you deserve.
crunk.
That's because I
Crunk
rolled
in the
Okay.
trunk.
Okay. Do you guys think
Uh,
you have time for that?
Finally celebrating our spoils of taking down that pesky council that was so hard to defeat.
Oh, jeez.
um,
Anyone
I
else?
I do want to spend some time and look for and try to buy a nice bottle of whiskey somewhere.
Hmm.
I do not want to. I'm not gonna get shit faced or anything, but I just want that bottle, and I might have, you know,
Do you want one of these geodes?
How many do
no.
you have left?
3.
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
Hey, some of the effects are bad. Don't start mixing them and, trying to be cool at all the same time. I was worried he was going to get, like, turn invisible for 6 rounds or something like that, and everyone was going to panic.
You're
and
like,
it was
you
just gonna be-
poisoned him. I thought
What
they were
did
gonna
you
get
do?
mad that he had goat horns.
Oh,
Maybe if he was mad about it, but that sounds kind of awesome for a barbarian to have
Oh, yeah.
horns from his head.
but yeah, I would like to find just a nice bottle of whiskey and maybe have a drink while everyone is partying.
Pretty easy to find, Garuk, but you have two options. Would you like an Old Kingdom whiskey or something from the New Kingdom? Old Kingdom being smooth and aged and cared for. New Kingdom being strong,
Rough.
wild, probably some particles of God knows what inside, but it'll really get the job
People.
done.
I will buy. I want the old kingdom, but I will buy one of the new kingdoms.
1 gold for the old batch, 1 silver for the new.
All right.
I will
So,
warn you, if you see them eating people, it's cool with them. They do that sometimes.
We keep doing that,
Uh,
and we're okay with that apparently.
Yeah,
I'll just write that down.
we've run into more cannibalism than I thought we would.
It's supposed to be like this
Versus
morally
any.
gray, like tough choice, but you guys are always like, dig the fuck in, let's go.
I singed it to a crisp for the first time. And the
Wrong
second
course.
time, I think I was just like, hell yeah, let's get this bread.
You guys were all about RoboCats from like day one. It's so funny. I made him too cool.
Let me see here. Patrick, what do you have anything on your head right now?
Patrick,
We can't hear you.
you're dead again, man. If you've been talking, you've just been like, he's trying to mute and unmute
He
himself.
types.
Oh yeah, just type it. Is he typing in Facebook or
Can you
He types
hear
in
me?
Yeah, we can hear
the
you.
Discord.
Okay, yeah, I totally have been talking.
Oh man, we haven't heard a word.
No,
That's okay.
not at all.
That's do I have anything on my head?
Yeah.
I know.
I don't believe so.
All right. So because of that and me drinking and being festive,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you one of the items that was on the council that we that James killed. Since
Why,
Dathis wasn't
why do
actually
you have
there.
the items?
What was that?
Why do you have the items of a bunch of dead people?
Because they were dead and those items were items.
I use them no more.
They're
And he's a
they're
hoarder.
not. They're more so just for looks. There's nothing
Oh,
special
okay.
about them, but that doesn't mean that you can't wear them. So I
Okay.
am going to give Dat this, and I'm making a note of this. It is a headdress, wire made with antlers and bones with precious jewels.
Mm.
That was
Oh,
one of the things the council had.
a very high lung that band. It's beautiful. Everyone's giving gifts, being merry, tightening their bonds.
Me and John are getting fucking trashed.
I do not know if Garuk will take this, but I'll try to offer him an arm wrap with leather straps that has a green glass snake wrapping around it.
It's like an arm piece.
Yeah.
Does
I
it
don't think
look
it'll do anything for you. It's probably
No,
just
it's
mostly
just a
decorative.
design. Yeah.
Quite beautiful.
It's quite beautiful, but I tend to lean more towards functionality rather than beauty.
Nah, just
Lame. Get him a vacuum for Christmas then.
I do appreciate
then just wear it whenever we're going to do any type of events or anything like this.
Well, that's actually not a bad idea.
And
Yes. Take that then.
I don't need to give shit to Pitch. He's already got enough shit. But just
Oh, I know what I
so-
earned.
Just so I don't be ran out, he is going to get a necklace with dragon wings holding a pendant.
Well, actually, put a note for this.
Wow.
And that will be it.
I
That
believe the
last part
snake.
I didn't get from the council. I don't know when I got that one. That was early on.
Necklace with a dragon holding a pendant.
Your bonds all increased. I think
Beautiful.
I think the snake charm was from the Sphinx woman, who could detect lies at will,
You said it's like a
but she dead.
stylized snake, like arm guard.
Like
Goes around the arm, like you slide your arm up onto it. So you could essentially put it up onto like just your forearm or your bicep.
you know those like gold bands that women wear on their arms sometimes. This is kind of like a '90s thing, but it's kind of like that except a big green
They're called bangles.
bangles.
That
Like
is
a
the term.
football team.
No, not bingles. Not like
Bangle.
they're
Bangle.
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 And you said it has like gems in the
It's just a green
eyes of this
glass
thing?
snake arm wrap with leather
Oh, okay.
straps
Leather.
with the green snake up in the straps and everything to hold it in.
That green glass is a specialty of the River Kingdom. It's this beautiful, like translucent glass that they make from the mica around here, whatever. Uh, Probably now lost to time, so it might be valuable.
All right.
So nostalgic of old Nubervoy.
One of these potion effects is all tattoos, scars, and marks on your body disappear.
Oh, James,
It'd be
you
so
want to
bad for Pitch.
Does he have tattoos?
Pitch, your
No,
tattoos.
not yeah, that would be.
Oh, you
So
talking
wait,
about the king?
are you
Yeah,
talking about
it's
the geode, or are you talking about the
geode,
shit we're drinking?
the geode,
So
the magic potion,
while we're
magic
all
alcohol.
while we're all drinking, I'm gonna ask Robocaz, who is one person out of the entire party that he would like to play a prank on?
Um, hmm, what a
Preferably someone
barbarian.
that's already been taking part of the festivities.
Um, I think it'd have to be Pitch because it's only you guys that are really going hard on it. Garuk is doing his thing in the corner solemnly. He's guts on the wall, looking out, drinking his small drink. Keeping his mind clear. Ever the warrior. And Patches, I don't know how hard you're going.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Pitch is your victim of choice by merit of engaging in the party.
All right, I'm about to message you something.
Okay.
Good God.
God.
Chop off your arm is a prank, Pitch.
I would
Old
fucking kill
familiar.
both of you. Uh,
Don't you remember not having an arm?
I do remember not having an arm. Just not recently.
All right.
Okay. The party continues. You guys in different states of merriment. You're getting drunker and drunker. At least Pitch, Souffle, and the King, as well as the King's men, if you could call them that. No, no Knights of the Round Table here. Just a bunch of strong, angry men drinking heavily. Pitch, in your cups, a very attractive, very nude barbarian lady hands you the next one. Which,
I have no reason to suspect anything. I drink it.
well put. Ooh, this was a little spicy, Pitch.
Oh shit.
This one's really spicy. Pitch, this one's starting to hurt. Pitch, this is turning into an emergency. Pitch, take a
Good
d4
God.
of damage, please.
What the pepper jelly?
Yeah.
I scream. A D4
Yes.
taking
Oh, it's so
2
spicy.
damage.
So spice.
That's so spice.
I mean, taking real damage from it, this is the spiciest thing you've ever eaten. So, drink. Red flush, even on your alabaster perfect angel skin. Your tattoos are lit with fire now.
Good God.
You probably have a toll at the bathroom later.
I try and act like nothing's going on.
The very attractive, very naked barbarian lady watches your holding it together. Give me a give me a Constitution
Constitution,
saving
yeah,
throw.
probably. A dirty 20.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Hmm. She's impressed.
My original intent was for him to pick out one person in the crowd and that person cause a scene and make everyone better. And then it was like, no, it ended
I
up
mean,
being you. I was
me
like,
keeping it together is probably still like, woo!
Yeah.
Alcohol's strong tonight.
You like breathe out smoke and there's a bell above your head and it rings a bunch of times and your head spins around.
Yeah, it's keeping it together.
Yeah. So the night passes. It is a fun night. No one tries to kill you or take your things or conduct a war. You just enjoy your time with hard-won allies, lots of alcohol, lots of drinking. Pitch and souffle, you wake up in random spots, covered in naked women or men, as your preference, um, or both, whatever your character feels like he wants to do. The rest of you wake up not as hungover, not at all, but rested, feeling good.
Bueno.
As we walk out of the building or wherever the hell we were staying, I look over at Pitch.
I'm just on the ground.
You're welcome. Just walk
You shit.
out. Oh no, you're welcome for not just that, but the situation you're in right now. So.
Jesus.
Yeah, you hear a grumbly in your tumbly, Pitch. Gonna need a bless or something. Pitch, the attractive, naked barbarian woman, stops you. She says, "Will I ever see you again?"
Bitch, where's the bathroom?
Like, never mind. We should just be friends.
Oh shit.
What if I was like, I shit on myself on purpose?
You like, check this out.
Straight face. His response is voiding his bowel.
And then she's like, ooh.
Yeah. These are cannibals, so.
A feisty one. Ooh,
Yeah. Does the carpet match the drapes?
run.
Oh, no.
Everything matches everything, bitch. There's shit all over it.
Any further business in New Brevoy?
I wanted to try to get some uh,
Baby, go.
some stuff to do the thing that we were talking about, and you and I were talking about the other day.
That's pretty easy to get. It would just be raw materials, really. It's up to the craftsman to make the craft. But you can get
Okay.
wood and pieces of metal for springs, little bits of fake glass for eyes and buttons. God knows what
Okay.
else.
I
Just
will. I will go.
enough raw material to last you a very long time would, I don't know, maybe like 5 gold to just blanket account for a lot of the stuff.
Okay, I'll do that. I will just go get that, and then I'll get crafting.
Wood,
Crafting tools.
scraps, oils, paints, various pigments, colors, all sorts of things.
Yep.
Your
Paints.
imagination being the
Okay. I will
factor.
get. Um, basically, I'm trying to think of what all I can get. I've never thought about this in a fantastical sense, so it's a bit more to think about. But I guess to start, I would get some wood and some carving material, and some metal stuff, and things, springs, wires, things that I could build shit out with, and then hammers and you name it, whatever I can think of to make stuff with.
Yep. Small materials, raw,
Mhm.
unprocessed, not too expensive.
The hell are you making?
So I'm gonna make toys.
For all the good little girls and boys.
Yeah, for like
I fucking told you, James, that his about the fucking character in Critical Role. I told you what he
it's
would
about what?
fucking. I'll tell you after the game.
Okay.
Any more outstanding business?
Yeah,
I
that's a
think I
good.
wanted.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying that I think I wanted to pick up like blacksmithing tools.
Hmm.
I don't think I actually own any right now. I wanted to start working on that. But other than that, that doesn't sound like anything super outrageous.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go pick up assortment of different herbs and everything because let's see.
Can we just assume you got handfuls of every herb that they had
No,
on that
no,
airship?
yeah, no, I already got that. Yeah, I
Mhm.
picked up a lot of the saffron too. Fuck them. I gotta make us some tasty shit. But no, I was gonna get a bunch of herbs and ingredients because I have a brewer's kit,
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
so I can do that for us to have drinks.
Forget you have that.
Sure, maybe I'll meet in the middle. Maybe 10 gold to get a good stock of all the standard supplies you'll need.
Sounds good.
Smith's tools, Garuk, are a bit more specialized. These are heavily processed instead of unprocessed. They are 20 gold for Smith's tools, apparently.
All right.
Lets you add your proficiency bonuses and ability checked to making tools in your craft. You choosing blacksmithing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
One thing, Garrett, is there a Church of Kosuth here?
Hmm. Let the gods decide.
You should try to convince Robocast to let there be a church, so that way, and you tell him any enemies felled under the name of Kosuth are served in Kosuth's army that you can call upon.
Yes, there is. There is a lively Church of Kosuth where
Oh
one
wow.
was not. One of the barbarians, not known for their religious tendencies, do find some solace with Kosuth, who tells them to go and conquer often enough.
Good. Good.
I guess I'm just gonna unlearn the teleport spell and find another one.
I'll spend any rest of my time that I spend here. I'll spend it there.
But it's pretty nice to be at home. This church has been breathed new life into. You would be a premier, like visiting pope at this point. They might not know that, but any kind of theological questions you might have answers to. Though Kosuth is a simple man, go forth and conquer.
He likes power.
Any, any specific goals, or just a
No,
religious visit?
it's religious visit. We don't have to do any RP, but I would help anybody if I
Mhm.
seemed like a guide for anything.
Yeah, there's some fledgling younglings who have their own questions. Kosuth, why do bad things happen to good people? Because you're not
Because
attacking them
Kosuth
enough.
wills it.
Burn them in flames.
Yeah,
Pitch
they're not
tells
crispy enough.
Pitch tells him, "Tell me, Father, for I have sinned in the honor of killing."
You know that fucking meme of the manatee that's like set it all on fire, child. That's me. I'm the manatee. Manatee.
James is fucking fire Elmo.
Jesus.
Geared and stocked. Are we now ready to leave?
Yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's go find Embright Sun.
Getting back on the ship, the world is your oyster. You have several destinations calling to you. Uh, do you wish to go to Maztica, the Tabaxi land?
I'm pretty sure Death wants to go to Maztica.
Is that where
Well, we
the
don't have a ship to give him now.
No, but we have a ship he can pilot.
Oh, well, that's true.
is this
Or that he can
Yeah.
learn to pilot and.
We can hear you now. I don't know why
Wait,
it keeps going out.
you said you think I want to go to Mazdika?
Yeah.
That's Tika, the
Much
cat place
Deka?
for
Oh,
a bright sun.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, I was only really going there to get the ship situated. That was my thing.
No.
Well, John's saying he could pilot ours.
I mean, I'm totally down for that.
I mean, I thought we were on our way to go find the next
Listen, Josh, we never go where we're supposed to go. We're like
We do.
Well,
Eventually.
the
we are a
Tabaxi land
group
you
of
were was even on your radar because it was indeed through the looking glass you could see the Tabaxi homeland.
Oh, good.
Oh. That's
the
where
Well,
all
most
of
stolen
the
lands.
things
Yes.
are at.
Then
This would be
doubly
main
yes.
quest. Side quests,
we're,
if you wanted to do any.
we're like if somebody scattered a bunch of pieces of candy on the ground and told us that there was a house on fire, we would be
You
fucked.
can only eat the red ones.
It wouldn't be a
We'll
good
eat
idea.
all of them.
Yeah, we're just not. You know,
But
we tend to just go in different directions.
somehow our side questing has led us in the right direction anyway, Patch. So we're good.
That is true.
This could be the lesser of all evils reality we're living in, though. I don't
Garrett's
know.
ability to wrangle cats is unparalleled.
Speaking of,
I'm just
continuing.
yeah, I'm just saying, if we get him to pilot our ship, he would be the first to actually pilot anything other than a gondola.
Yeah,
Maybe help Garuk.
he gondolas.
If you
He could be the advisor to Garuk. If Garuk has to leave, he could just sit in the airship.
Continuing, you pass the southern edge of the stolen lands from high above, which look much different from how you left it. You only get a bird's eye view, but you can see the fires of war have etched their dark tattoos on the land. Many small villages and towns you pass completely destroyed, some fields still smoking. As you continue, the strange obelisk in the Isle of Terror remains, untouched by war. You wonder how the denizens of the area are doing after the chaos you caused last time. The ship continues, past the stolen lands, past the deep blue waters nearby, further south, getting closer and closer to the equator line, the temperature steadily rising through your trip, which we're kind of hand waving because it's time consuming. But you're on a ship going forward, eat in the evenings, you wake up in the mornings. You see, revealing beneath you, a great jagged peninsula with a great lake in the center, almost the size of an ocean itself. The peninsula is rectangular, but with wide, wild arms of land jutting out here and there, creating an irregular shape. The land is covered in dense forest, rainforest-like, impenetrable, almost breathing with life. Long, tall, now dead volcanoes dot the land like blemishes upon the skin. Some calderas empty and void-like, some full of water, others having vegetation slowly wresting control back in their open tubes going down into the earth. The wild land is a mix of stone and tree. Huge quarries of limestone and granite are hidden beneath canopies of dense forest. The great trees that dominate most of the forest, known as cloud reachers or copperwood, are tall and metal hard, and grow nearly as tall as redwood, but retain the canopy spanning coverings. The copperwoods produce a flood of oxygen in their natural process, creating an oxygen-rich, dark, and isolated environment for life to grow. Leaves of the trees, while green on top, reaching up to the sun, have a darker, almost rust coloring to their bottom, alluding to the copper name, and tinging the forest in reds and oranges as the cycle continues. The Great Lake in the center of the peninsula is dotted with tiny islands here and there, rocky outcroppings with no real beach or anything to that effect. Most notable, a massive maelstrom flows in the center of the enormous lake, the maelstrom itself being several hundred feet across. You can see the spiral flowing endlessly from your vantage point. The ship brings you to a sprawling city, an organic city built of tree houses, small houses with bamboo-like material woven tightly, and natural streams running through, with lattice-work bridges between great, tall, dark wood trees. A massive pyramid stands in the center, the most at odds thing in the scene. Though the pyramid is woven throughout more with the bamboo-like material, its triangular shape is maintained both with stone and ancient-looking hardwood. The city is nestled between the lake's edge and the vast jungle behind it, some parts of the city hidden to all but the natives who know the dark and shadowy passages. A sort of open air port is here, though mostly fishing ships and trawlers, small and simple things. There is no good place to bring the ship down. You will have to repel or do some other clever thing.
I will just fly.
That'll do.
I'm gonna jump on James's back.
Jesus.
What?
I
I
guess we could see if
guess
there's a ladder or
propelling
something.
down is really.
Suppose that I'll just start working with my
Oh,
rope.
you know what? I could show Gregory the picture of a large flying animal of some kind. and get him to transform into it.
I
Would
think
that work?
size might be an issue. I don't think you can get too much out of control from its own size.
You can turn into a little version of it.
What about like a parachute or something?
Now, if we have those.
I don't know. I don't know if there's a parachute creature I can mimic.
How far from the ground are we? Is the thing.
This is how close you want to get.
I mean, as
Well,
as
yeah,
close as we
it's
can
he's
without
trying to
damaging it.
figure out how close we can get.
Getting close, you can kind of hug the seaside where you won't hit the tall trees. You can get fairly down, but you'll be over water. So there is indeed a sort of a rope, not bridge, rope ladder tied to the side of the ship to be thrown over and let down, and it'll kind of let you into knee-deep water below.
All right, I guess that's what we're doing.
Except for James, who can fly.
Yeah, I'm gonna land on
Exactly.
dry tree branches.
The town is curious to your approach, and you
Well,
get a wide variety of greetings, most of the tabaxi barely containing their fervor to run up to you and ask you about your ship or where they're from. The tabaxi town is not too diverse, it's pretty far from any human, dwarf, or elven settlement, but tabaxi are welcoming and accepting of guests, having a strong culture of respect and manners. There are still a few expats living happily here. Everything you see is open air, most houses not even having a door, and most the mesh to prevent bugs. The cafes and taverns are mere suggestions, mostly tables and seats, sometimes built vertically and laid out horizontally for the deft cat patrons. Most tabaxis sit and smoke large pipes, hookahs, communally discussing politics, war, love, and whatever else. The tabaxi are ever hungry for knowledge and have expansive open-air libraries everywhere, the books bound in rough leather and wrapped to protect them from the wet jungle. Um, it's a real mess around here to the non-tabaxi. Give me perception checks, everyone.
It's almost like you gave a bunch of cats some trees and told them run a society in here.
16.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
15.
Mm-hmm.
Perception. 23. I'm sorry,
Damn.
22.
What about you, Patches?
If you're talking, you're dead
17.
again.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. 17.
Pitch, you land deftly and beautifully onto this sort of it's not as much of a port as it is like this long pier that's about like 10 or 12 feet into the water. Still pretty shallow, but it just gives a way to get a little closer to set off their fishing boats and such. Um, you land almost right beside a very familiar face.
Hmm.
In Bright Sun is shocked by your approach. He is tying a fishing ship, uh, repairing some portion of it. You're not sure. He's doing some manual labor, and you send down like an angel. Be not afraid. He looks up to you in shock, quickly remembering who you are.
I'll just be like, hello, friend.
James,
Hello, Pitch.
James, you fucked it up. You should have said, "What's new, pussycat?"
I gotta say that.
Jesus Christ, John.
Oh my god.
Biblically accurate angel. Black.
Yeah. Biblically accurate pitch.
Um,
I will kind of tell him the others are here and we'll wait for him.
you guys climb out of the water, I assume.
Yep.
Would have half expected John to like sneak only eyes poking out of the water until he could scare the cat.
Like a
No,
Navy
no.
SEAL behind him.
No, I know the trauma
Just
he's
like a
been
real.
through. I'm not gonna do
Cucumber
that.
behind him.
I'm gonna give him Bright Sun a big hug.
He hugs you back. He is shocked to see everyone and greets you, Garuk, and the catfish, T-posing off to the side with a friendly handshake.
Ask him how I want to ask him. Hey, how have you been? How are things?
I'm doing much better. The nightmares have slowed now that I've been back home. I'm keeping things simple and doing one day at a time. And he like flips his little Alcoholics Anonymous for PTSD coin in the air. It's been 30
Jesus.
days since I beat my wife. So. No, none of that. But he says the nightmares have slowed since I've been home, and I'm getting better every day. What brings you here? Surely not
uh,
me.
well, partially you actually. We've come
Surprise!
across an odd gift, shall we say, and we thought maybe you would be the only man we would trust to
Give me a second.
pilot the gift.
He takes a look over his shoulder at the enormous airship, kind of unnaturally still, despite the breeze running through its mass. That thing?
Yep, that thing.
Never driven one before.
Well, we hadn't either before, a week or two ago. You have more
You
experience
see,
doing this type of thing.
you see a lot of complicated emotions on his face. His tabaxi tendency of curiosity and desire for adventure are more with his knowledge of just what kind of company you tend to keep. Feel like he might need a persuasion check to be more at odds with this suggestion.
Roll animal handling. 16.
Pretty solid. Thinks about it. I do want to see how that thing flies, but I no longer wish to be a warrior.
All right, I'm back.
That's doable. You can just stay in the ship.
I promise you will only ever have to pilot the ship, but I can't promise we won't run into any trouble because you know better than that.
But you don't.
Let me think on it for a while, will you?
Did y'all tell him
Speaking of
about
which,
Sure.
he can pioneer being the first tabaxi to ever fly an airship?
Yeah, he's at war with himself. You see his face kind of contorting in this mix of the tabaxi need for satiating curiosity and adventure with his,
Do I need to persuade him?
inbound. James tried. He did pretty good. Um, he said, "Give me some time." That's where he's at right now.
Yeah, mine wasn't super strong, but it wasn't super weak either. It was just it was persuasive.
Okay, because
should you
I-
not
Well, let's
inform
why
him
don't we
of what
tell him? Look, how about would it be all right if you with you if we stayed down here and we told you about some stories, some things that have happened since we've last left off?
He said, "Oh, of course, of course. My people are nothing if not welcoming. You'll find a home anywhere you desire it."
would you at least like to go look at the ship itself? Take a tour of it so you can see the designs and anything else that might be able to help tabaxi kind better navigate or enhance their own ships themselves.
He would absolutely like to do that.
So we'll step on the ship at your leisure. Whenever you're ready, you can let us know.
Yeah. Let's see. Um, that's a good point. Let me give you guys something to think about for next time as well. Um, he says, "Sure, sure. Let me give you a tour around town. Before we start. I would be an ingracious host if I did not.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
I'd love to see all your cat trees. I mean, houses.
it's very stinky around here."
Uh, smells like Mowgli's house.
By all
Yeah.
means, please show us. I need to know more about this as well, so I can.
He gives you the
Take my
tour. There's
conclusions.
taverns, so to speak. They're kind of open air, more suggestions. He gives you a rundown of the temple, which is this huge pyramid in the center of town. He has lots of info on their religion and their culture. If you have any curiosity with any of that, he's an open book, happy to tell you. Um, and he'll slip in his own questions here and there. Um, one thing of note, you do pass a bounty board, which you haven't seen in a while. Most places that you're from have been too busy with any such adventuring guild sort of activity. It's kind of nostalgic seeing that. Do you wish to take the time to read it, perhaps?
Yes, definitely.
One of them says that a great and powerful mantis has grown too large and too aggressive in the light of the waning moon. Please help. They offer 50 gold reward and a magical ancestral necklace.
Ooh.
I'm all about
Another,
magical.
some Tabaxi have been kidnapped. They suspect an enemy clan in preparation for some sacrifice in the waning moon. Rescuing these people will have unknown rewards, as the families will scrape together as much as they can.
We're not gonna rescue some. It just
What?
it caused the whole land, the oasis, to dry up again, is it?
Probably not. Probably not.
No, it's not another genie.
Third, a Wanti, the snake people, have stolen a holy artifact from the Tabaxi Museum and has taken them somewhere else in the Great Jungle. It would be a great boon to have them back, and more importantly, to understand why they were stolen. Wanti and Tabaxi are usually peaceful with each other for the most part, and this is very strange.
Oh man, all three of these sound awesome.
Yeah.
Something to think about for next time on D&D.
Garrett,
Oh,
you
yeah.
should, if you have all of that typed up, you should put it in the Discord. That way it's a little more
Okay, I will.